Well, right now we are keeping a close eye on Hurricane Lee, which is expected to head towards parts of the U.S. over the next few days. John Loring has more on how it's going to impact part of the country that doesn't normally experience tropical events like this.
Hurricane and tropical storm watches are in effect for much of coastal New England over the next few days due to Hurricane Lee.
There is going to be a surge in here. There's going to be some serious waves in here, and that breakwater right there doesn't really protect the surges.
Meteorologists say that even if Lee weakens, the overall impact will be far-reaching because of the size of the hurricane.
Normally, when a major hurricane that I've seen makes landfall, a lot of the damage, severe damage, can be relatively localized. But when a storm spreads out like this, it can be intimidating in the sense that the damage is going to be much more widespread.
According to the National Hurricane Center, Lee has the potential to bring, quote, life-threatening storm surge flooding to parts of Massachusetts on Friday and Saturday.
Towards the later past few nights, it's reinvigorated itself and reestablished itself as a pretty strong and intimidating hurricane.
Maine's Governor Janet Mills issued a statement calling on residents to, quote, exercise caution and to take common sense steps to ensure they have all they need to stay safe, which is advice people in neighboring states should also follow.
Whether or not it's going to be a landfall, that's still up in question, but we'll certainly feel the impacts from Boston to Portland.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And it's a system we're going to continue to keep a close eye on, of course, as we make our way throughout the next couple of days here. A system that thankfully isn't really going to have much of an impact on us here in North Georgia, as it is forecast to stay off to the east thanks to some of these frontal boundaries that we've been dealing with. Now, we also have Hurricane Margot out there, and we have a 90% chance of tropical development just west of the Cape Verde Islands, something that we're going to keep a close eye on too. If that does form, it would likely be Nigel. Let's take a closer look at Lee again. Again, this storm is making its way off towards the north. It has winds of 90 miles per hour, moving north at 14 miles per hour. And thankfully, it looks like the forecast cone has continued to shift off to the east. Now, the hurricane hunters have been flying this system, gathering up all the information so this cone can be as precise as possible. And it's nice to see it continue to shift to the east. The strongest part of a tropical system typically is the front right quadrant. That would be kind of over in this area with the latest forecast cone. And so that's better news for Maine and portions of the United States. Still, though, something to keep an eye on over the next few days. Likely going to be some increased wave action up there in the northeast, as well as a little bit of storm surge that they may be dealing with. Hurricane Margot's out there as well, just a fish storm, or in other words, a storm that is just kind of stirring up the fish, not expected to impact land. We'll keep an eye on it though. Next name on the list would be Nigel. So we've been talking about Lee for a while. We're going to talk about it for a few more days before it really starts to calm down out there in the Atlantic a little bit.